Loyalty ain't loud. It don't post itself. It don't make noise, and it don't beg for credit. Real loyalty moves in silence, and that's what make it rare. Anybody can say they're down for you when the sun's shining, but you only find out who real when the lights cut off. When the world start clapping, when the attention fade, when your name don't benefit nobody, that's when loyalty get tested. See, people love to talk about how real they are, but real ain't a conversation, it's behavior. You don't gotta announce it. You prove it when you stay solid in rooms where they're tearing somebody else down. You prove it when you still hold somebody down after the world forgot them. Loyalty is quiet moves, not loud promises. It's about presence when nobody expects it. A lot of folks break loyalty because they're only loyal to convenience. They rock with you as long as it feel good, as long as they're winning next to you. As soon as the storm hit, they start making excuses. They start protecting their comfort instead of your name. That's when you realize loyalty ain't something everybody built for. It's a character thing, not a connection thing. When people betray you, it usually don't start with the act. It starts with energy. It starts when they stop celebrating you in private, when they stop listening with care, when their loyalty turn conditional based on what you can offer, not who you are. They still smile in your face, still call you love, still act like they solid, but inside they already disconnected. The betrayal already happened, you just ain't seen it yet. That's why I say loyalty get tested in silence. It's when you're not around. It's when your name come up in a room full of strangers. It's when temptation show up and nobody would ever find out. It's when staying true got no reward. That's when loyalty speak. Most people fail that test because they want recognition. They want clout for being loyal. But once you're looking for credit, you already missed the meaning. Loyalty is built on principles. It's doing right even when you hurt, even when you misunderstood, even when it don't make sense to nobody else. It's standing on something solid when the world tell you to move. That kind of loyalty comes from discipline and love, not need, not fear, not dependency. You can't teach it to everybody. Some people only learn it through loss. They break somebody's trust and then realize what they destroyed. They think they're winning, but they just lost access to something real. Because once loyalty gone, it don't come back the same. You can forgive, but the bond never sound the same again. Real ones understand the weight of loyalty. They know it's connected to legacy. You stay solid, not just for them, but for who you are. It's about looking in the mirror and knowing you never switched up, even when it was easy to do so. That's power. That's peace. And let's be real, in this generation, loyalty been watered down. People traded for likes, for validation, for temporary attention. They chase being seen instead of being steady. But the truth always circle back. Energy don't lie. The same people that betrayed you end up learning why you moved how you moved. Time exposed everything. When you're loyal, you don't chase closure, you let character speak. You don't clap back. You don't expose. You don't match their energy. You just distance yourself and let God show the difference. Silence always reveals what noise try to hide. So understand this. Loyalty ain't something you demand. It's something you inspire. You attract it when you live by it. Stay solid even if you stand alone, because being loyal in a disloyal world makes you different. It makes you strong. It makes you timeless. When it's all said and done, people gonna remember how you stood, not what you had, not what you said, how you stood. And when they speak your name in rooms you ain't in, let your loyalty echo louder than your words ever could. That's the real victory. That's the quiet truth. That's the kind of legacy silence can't erase. Energy over words, that's the rule life gonna always remind you of. Anybody can talk a good game. Anybody can say they real, say they love you, say they solid. But words cheap, they free, they don't cost nothing to speak. What costs is the energy behind them, the way somebody moves, the way they show up, the way their presence feel when you're around. That's where truth lives. You ever notice how somebody's words can sound sweet, but your gut still feel off? That's energy telling you the truth, that language trying to hide. Real ones don't talk about loyalty, they live it. Real love don't need to be explained, it's felt. You can't fake energy no matter how good you act. It exposes what words try to cover up. Energy show up when they think you're not watching. It's in how they treat you when they don't need nothing. It's how they react to your success, if they smile with you or secretly shrink. You can tell who for you by the way they celebrate your wins. The wrong ones clap with their hands but hate with their heart. That's energy. That's what speaks louder than any "I got you." See, I learned early. Don't chase what people say. Watch what they repeat. Watch how they move when things don't benefit them. Some people's energy shifts soon as you stop giving. They stop checking in, they stop supporting, they start getting distant. Then when you call it out, they swear you tripping. Nah, you just paying attention. Words try to gaslight you, but energy can't lie. Energy always reveals who's real, real and who's rehearsed. You can't maintain fake energy forever. It leaked through the cracks. It's showing the way they talk about others. It's showing how they handle your absence. It's showing how they act when you fall off. Because when you're at the bottom, that's when people's real energy come out. No filters, no performance, just truth. And it's not just about them, it's about you too. The energy you put out is the magnet for what come back. You attract what you reflect. If you move with peace, consistency, discipline, that's what you start pulling in. But if you move in chaos and confusion, that's all that circles back to you. You got to protect your frequency. Like it's currency. Your energy is your signature. It's the one thing that speaks before you do. When you walk into a room, people feel it before they hear it. That's why alignment matters. You can't say you want peace, but live in drama. You can't talk about loyalty, but keep entertaining betrayal. Your energy and your actions gotta match. If that don't, life gonna keep sending you lessons till they do. A lot of people lose real ones because their energy don't back up their mouth. They talk support, but move selfish. They say, I'm proud of you, but never show love unless the crowd watching. That's why I stopped listening to promises. I listen to patterns. Words might sell dreams, but energy tell the truth. Energy don't lie in relationships either. You can feel when somebody's heart ain't in it no more. The way they stop looking at you, the way the conversation feel forced, the way the silence start growing heavy. That's when you realize the word's still there, but the connection gone. You can't revive something that's already detached spiritually. The cold part is, some people got beautiful vocabularies, but broken intentions. They master sounding genuine, but their soul ain't behind it. That's why you gotta trust how people make you feel, not what they say. You'll save yourself from a lot of confusion when you learn to read energy first. Even when it comes to your dreams, energy over words still apply. Don't tell the world what you're gonna do. Just move in silence and let your results speak. Energy put in motion always bring more results than words spoken with no action. Manifestation don't come from talk. It comes from grind, focus, and consistency. So remember, energy can't be fake long term. It reveals intentions, it exposes lies, it defines connections. Stay aware of the vibes, not the voices. But pay attention to what's not being said. Sometimes silence tells you everything you need to know. And when it comes to you, protect your energy like your life. Depend on it because it do. Your peace, your focus, your purpose, that's your power. Don't waste it trying to prove your worth to people who already felt your value and still played you. Keep your circle small, your vision clear, and your energy sacred. At the end of the day, energy gonna always outlast words. Words fade, energy echo. People might forget what you said, but they'll never forget how your presence made them feel. That's legacy. That's truth. That's what real ones leave behind. Environment creates the behavior. That's something most people don't understand until life forces them to see. You could have the purest heart, the sharpest vision, the best intentions, but if you stay in a toxic space long enough, that energy starts to rub off. The people around you, the conversations you feed on, the mindset that surrounds you every day, all of that shape how you move, how you think, how you love, how you react. Nobody's strong enough to fight an environment forever. Either you change it or it change you. Where you grow up, what you see, what you hear, that all write codes inside you. If you raised around survival, it's hard to understand peace. If you raised around chaos, calm feel uncomfortable. You adapt to what's normal, not what's healthy. That's why some people mistake pain for passion, arguments for attention, and control for love. It ain't that they broken, they just been trained by their environment. You can't expect loyalty in a space built on fear. You can't expect truth where lies been feeding the system. You can't expect somebody to love pure when they grew up watching love always come with a cost. People mirror what they see. That's why it's dangerous to ignore your environment because it programs you quietly, even when you think you're different. You see it in relationships too. You can love somebody for real, but if both of you live in environments that celebrate ego and independence over connection, it's hard to build something solid because you're constantly being fed the message that vulnerability is weakness and loyalty make you a fool. And little by little, that outside noise start changing how you move inside your own home. When you're around people who complain all day, who gossip, who chase validation, that energy become your diet and your life gon' reflect what you consume. You can't talk growth if you're circle only talk about people. You can't talk peace if your environment built on conflict. The energy you surround yourself with become the blueprint for your next move. Sometimes it ain't even people, it's the environment in your own mind. The thoughts you replay, the stories you tell yourself, the beliefs you carry from the past. If you grew up hearing you not enough, you start creating situations to prove it right. If you've been betrayed, you start expecting betrayal before it even happened. That mindset becomes your environment too, and it starts shaping your actions without you even realizing it. The truth is, behavior don't just appear, it's molded. If somebody cold, if they selfish, if they distant, that ain't always who they are. That's who they became, trying to survive where they were. But healing come when you recognize that and start building a new environment around yourself. You got to put yourself in spaces that feed your growth, not your wounds. Spaces that make you uncomfortable enough to change, but safe enough to heal. It's hard to elevate in a place that reminds you of your limits. That's why so many people never outgrow certain cycles, because they keep returning to the same surroundings that taught them bad habits. You can't build an empire with people who still think small. You can't chase vision around those who only chase comfort. Environment can inspire you or it can drain you. The choice yours. I've seen people with crazy potential wasted because they never left the same block mentality. They wanted change, but they stayed around the same energy that made them need it. Growth demands distance. Sometimes you gotta outgrow your environment before it outgrows you. And when you finally change your environment, mentally, emotionally, physically, everything else starts shifting too. You start speaking different, thinking different, reacting different. Your energy get lighter, your circle shrink, but your peace grow. You start seeing how much of your old behavior wasn't really you, it was survival mode. You start realizing your environment either push you toward your higher self or pull you back to your lower one. So if you want to change your life, stop trying to fix the behavior first. Fix the environment that created. That's where transformation starts. Because at the end of the day, nobody escaped their surroundings untouched. The energy you live in every day build the person you become. So be careful what you breathe in. Be mindful what you absorb. You might not control where you came from, but you got full power over where you go next. That's why it's important to protect your space like it's sacred. Keep builders around you, not breakers. Keep visionaries, not victims. Feed on peace, not chaos, because your environment is the soil. And if you plant yourself in the wrong ground, don't be surprised when your roots start dying. Accountability on both sides, that's where the real truth lives. Everybody quick to point fingers, but nobody want to hold the mirror. We love to talk about how somebody did us wrong, but we skipped the part where we allowed it, ignored the signs, or played our part in the chaos. Accountability ain't about blame, it's about awareness. You can't heal what you keep excusing. You can't grow if you keep rewriting the story to make yourself look clean. Real ones accept their role even when it's uncomfortable. Relationships, friendships, business, all of it break down when accountability disappears. We live in a time where people think saying that's just how I am is an excuse to stay broken. It's not. Growth requires honesty, and honesty gonna hurt sometimes. You gotta be real enough to admit when your own habits push people away, when your ego killed peace, when your silence was just another form of disrespect. See, it's easy to say she switched up or he betrayed me. But ask yourself, did you communicate your truth? Did you keep it solid? Or did you let pride do the talking? Sometimes people don't betray us, they just get tired of carrying a one-sided weight. Loyalty ain't supposed to feel like labor. When the balance off, when one person doing all the emotional lifting, something gonna snap eventually. And when it do, both gotta own their part. Accountability means understanding that actions got consequences no matter how good your heart is. You can mean well and still do damage. You can love somebody and still break them if you're not aware of your patterns. That's why self-reflection matters. You can't keep saying everybody fake when the only common denominator in every situation is you. Sometimes the energy you put out is the same energy coming back, just in a different form. A lot of men and women both forget this. Loyalty ain't a one-way street. If you want consistency, you gotta give clarity. If you want honesty, you gotta create safety. If you want love, you gotta be love. You can't demand what you don't deliver. A lot of pain comes from unspoken expectation. People want others to read their mind and get mad when they don't. Accountability means saying what you need, owning what you feel, and being grown enough to listen when somebody tell you how your behavior affect them. It takes strength to say, yeah, I messed up. It takes maturity to say, I hurt you, and I get why you move different. That's the type of growth that separate real ones from pretenders. Most people rather lose you than face themselves. They rather keep the same patterns because comfort easier than correction. But that's why they keep ending up in the same cycles, same heartbreaks, same lessons on repeat because they never learn them. The truth is, both sides always got something to learn. You can't evolve if you always see yourself as the victim, and you can't build real trust if you refuse to admit your flaws. Accountability don't make you weak, it make you powerful. It mean you in control of your story now. It mean nobody can manipulate you with guilt or blame because you already took responsibility for your own path. When you start holding yourself accountable, you attract people who do the same. You stop entertaining excuses, you stop tolerating half effort, and you start recognizing alignment. The vibe shift when you move from why they do me like that to what energy did I ignore that led to that. That's elevation. That's awareness. But accountability also go both ways. You can't carry the full blame for somebody else's choices either. Don't let guilt make you responsible for someone's growth they refuse to do. You can acknowledge your part without owning theirs. That's balance. Both got to be willing to look inward if they want something real to last. It's deeper than apology. Accountability is change. It's proven with action that you learn. It's not saying I'm sorry and doing it again next week. It's about rewiring your habits so your growth speaks for you. When both people move like that, there's peace, there's trust, there's foundation. Because at the end of the day, love without accountability is chaos. Loyalty without honesty is fake. You can't build something solid on denial. So check yourself like you check others. Speak truth, even when it make you look bad. Own your part, even when your ego scream against it. That's what separates temporary connections from timeless ones. When both sides start taking responsibility instead of running from it, healing stop being a dream and become reality. That's when growth starts. That's when peace enter the room. And that's when you realize accountability ain't punishment, it's freedom. Self-worth and healing, that's the real foundation of everything. You can chase love, success, validation, even peace. But if you don't know your own worth, everything you touch is gonna feel unstable. You'll keep accepting less, keep trying to prove yourself to people who already made up their mind about you, keep confusing attention for love, and keep mistaking struggle for loyalty. The truth is, when you don't value yourself, you'll let anybody set your price. You can't heal until you know what you deserve. And you can't know what you deserve until you face what broke you. Most people try to skip that part. They just move on, act like they over it, throw themselves into distractions. But all that do is bury the pain. It don't erase it. Healing means sitting in that silence, looking at your own scars and admitting what hurt you. Not to blame nobody, but to free yourself from being defined by it. When you finally start healing, you realize how many times you accepted disrespect just because you didn't want to be alone. How many times you called it love when it was really attachment. How many times you kept giving chances, hoping somebody would finally see your value, not realizing the problem wasn't that they didn't, it's that you didn't. Healing expose all that. It stripped the illusions off and force you to see what's real. The process ain't pretty though. Healing gonna make you angry before it make you peaceful. It gonna make you lonely before it make you whole, because you gotta unlearn habits that came from survival, not from love. You gotta stop trying to fix people just because you couldn't fix your past. You gotta stop accepting almost just because you scared nothing gonna come next. When you heal, you learn that peace is better than potential. Self-worth changed everything. It changed how you walk, how you talk, how you respond. You stop begging for clarity and start giving yourself closure. You stop chasing people and start chasing purpose. You stop letting temporary feelings make permanent decisions. Because once you know your value, you can't move the same. You don't compete, you attract. You don't fight to be seen, you focus on being aligned. A lot of people never heal because they keep trying to get peace from the same place that broke them. You can't find your worth in somebody else's eyes. You gotta find it inside yourself where the world can't touch it. That's when you become unshakable. When your confidence don't depend on attention. When your happiness don't depend on company. When your peace don't depend on circumstances. That's real power. But don't confuse healing with perfection. Healing ain't about being flawless, it's about being aware. You still gonna feel pain, still gonna doubt yourself some days, still gonna have triggers, But the difference is you don't live there anymore. You see it, you breathe through it, and you keep moving. That's growth. That's maturity. Self-worth also means accountability, knowing when you was a problem and when you was a lesson. Sometimes you got to forgive yourself for staying too long, for trusting too fast, for not knowing better. You can't keep punishing yourself for the version of you that didn't have the tools yet. Forgiveness ain't saying it's okay. It's saying I'm done carrying it, because healing ain't holding grudges. It's letting go without hate. You got to stop expecting broken people to give you the kind of love you still learning to give yourself. Nobody can pour into you if they empty. Stop taking it personal when people can't love you right. Most of them fighting their own pain. Just make sure you're not doing the same to somebody else. The more you heal, the more your circle shrink. Because peace start feeling better than company that drain you. You stop needing validation, and that scare people who only know you through your wounds. But that's okay, you're not losing them, you're finding you. When you reach that space of self-worth, you start realizing you was never asking for too much, you was just asking the wrong people. You stop begging for energy that don't match yours. You stop explaining why you deserve respect. You stop chasing closure from people who never respected your truth. Because now you know what's meant for you will speak peace, not confusion. At the end of the day, healing don't change your past. It changes your power. It gives you control back. It teaches you that peace is your responsibility, not somebody else's gift. You start building your own happiness from the inside out. You stop settling for being chosen and start choosing yourself. That's self-worth. That's healing. That's evolution. You come out softer but stronger, quieter but clearer. You stop trying to prove and start just being. And once you reach that point, no loss, no betrayal, no silence can shake you, because you finally understand your value never came from what you went through. It came from who you always were underneath it all.